everyone.
Hi.
I'm just going to throw away my cue cards because I don't think we need it here right now.
It's one of those moments where, you think you're prepped up to go on stage and that you don't need to go to the toilet, but right now I need to pee so bad.
I need to pee too.
So for the next 30 minutes, I am going to, the more you think about it, the more you want to pee, and it's just, now I get it. So, no conversations about toilets for me, okay?
Or no rain sounds, no waterfall sounds right now.
So happy to be here, a part of this Women's Summit 2019. A round of applause for Pam, guys. I mean, she called me up in March saying, Woody, I'm going to hold the first Women's Summit in Asia in Thailand. It's going to happen. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Pam? What the fuck are you talking about? No, we're going to have people. It's going to be Santara. We're going to have dragonflies. It's going to be great. And after listening to her for about 15 minutes, I thought to myself, yeah, this is going to happen. It's going to be great. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to attend, and it's going to be an awesome day on November 2nd. So congratulations. You made it happen.
Thanks for making me even more nervous because let's throw this back at Woody. I am moderating a panel with the best moderator in town. So the name of the panel is called The Power of Vulnerability because I am feeling extremely nervous right now. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to change the name of the panel to Transformation, which is the theme of our summit, actually. Everybody here is a friend, so I am very thankful that all of you are here. And I believe it is very important to hear everybody's story on transformation, which happens daily to get to where you are. Walls are always being put up for us, stereotypical walls, gender walls, whatever it is. How do each and every one of you break through them? What strength do you find to actually jump through the wall, crash through the wall, go under the wall, whatever it is, to where you are today? Who wants to start?
Not me.
Whoa, that's a huge question. My good.
Start with you then, Woody.
Would you like to try Pearypie or?
โอเคค่ะ
You're in the middle, so you go first.
สวัสดีค่ะค่ะ Hi, I'm Pear. As you guys might know me from social media, from YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. I used to be in this beauty and makeup industry for 9 years. And for the last 3 years, I was lost. I didn't know what I was getting up for every morning. And I lost my goal of life. And I couldn't find a purpose of, my living every day. Today, a student of Earth. I do Thai cultural study and I do environmental study, and there's a long journey for me, like from the first day that I was Pearypie online, and who today I am right now.
What was your lowest point? How did you get here, and why did you change directions?
It was the part that I question every day, like, when I woke up every day, I ask myself, what is life? What's the purpose of being here or being born even? And even that my journey of being a makeup artist, I was, what we think it is like, success, fame, and with money was great, but then I didn't feel it. Back 3 years ago, I almost thought that I was, this girl holding so much balloons, floating away, and I was so scared of letting go of those balloons as well. And when I looked down, I didn't know where I was or even who I was.
Did those balloons pop?
Yep, I let them go. Like,
You let
I
them
let
go.
all of them go. Yeah.
Katrina. You could be easily, just as I could be, a lady who lunches. Born into privilege, I'm unabashedly going to say that we could be sitting around doing nothing. But instead, you've chosen to be not only an environmentalist, an outspoken advocate for gender equality, a DJ in a male-dominated environment. Tell us about yourself. Tell us how you got to where you are today, the transformations you've had, any gender stereotype things that you've experienced. Do tell us.
So I come from the Philippines, a country with extreme levels of poverty and virtually no levels of economic or social inclusion. And fortunately, I grew up in a family that values hardship and values community. And I was actually sheltered from what our privilege was growing up. I was always encouraged to volunteer and identify problems in the country that are in desperate need of solutions. So as a child, it was always embedded in me. And I found at a very young age that the arts was a powerful medium to inspire that kind of behavioral and cultural change. So at the age of 15, as an outsider in my school, like I was never one of the popular kids, I decided to become a DJ because it was an area that I found a sense of community. It was like a band of like weirdos that didn't really fit in the social norms of Manila itself. And as the years went by as a DJ and entering the music industry in the US, where I worked in some of the top music festivals in the country, I realized that the industry is incredibly lopsided, in which, as Jamila Jamil said earlier in her talk, all of the executives at the music industry are controlled by men. That includes the agencies, and that includes all of the record labels. And when you pair that with the amount of wastage that the music festivals were generating, I mean, have you been to Electric Zoo in New York City? I mean, the land there is just absolutely devastated by the
I've only
amount of
been to
plastic.
Wonderfruit.
So that also led me to Wonderfruit, in which I'm partners with Pam's wonderful brother, Pete. I think he's right there. Hi, Pete. So I guess it's interesting because I never really thought about my privilege, and the option of just not working was never really part of my DNA, I would say. I think that I am driven more by the fear of succeeding at things in my life that don't benefit my community or the world around me.
Is there a difference with weakness and vulnerability?
See, I actually think that vulnerability is the best measure of courage. And throughout our lives, we're conditioned to believe that vulnerability is a sign of weakness. But look at the women who stood up to Harvey Weinstein. And that paved the way for a global movement for all women to stand up against aggression of power in all sorts of economic and social systems, right? So I actually believe that how we navigate through our vulnerability dictates our ability to connect. And that's what's missing in the world. There's a lack of empathy. And what's going on now is that there's shame everywhere. But once you're able to nurture empathy within yourself and within other people, it creates a hostile environment for shame.
Can you tell us a little about gender equality that's happening in the Philippines?
So gender equality in the Philippines is kind of interesting because according to the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Equality Index, that the Philippines is one of the top countries in the world. I believe it's in the top 10 countries for gender equality. However, it does not address the negative nuances that women in the Philippines face on a daily basis between the workplace and life at home. For instance, we're one of the only 2 countries in the whole world, besides the Vatican, where divorce is still illegal, meaning that women who are trapped in marriages that have domestic abuse cannot leave those marriages. And if you file for an annulment, you basically delegitimize your children, and it's expensive for the masses in the Philippines to afford that. But what we're seeing now are a lot of grassroots movements that are aiming to create more equal wage pays towards women who are in management and CEO positions, because I think we're one of the countries in the world that have the most amount of women in leadership positions, but it's not reflected in the pay gap.
Thank you. Shall we, between Woody and Chompoo here, I see some like, who's going first? Who's going first? Go on.
And the question is?
There is no question. We're having a conversation. No, there is a question, Woody.
Yes.
I've known you since I was 10. And I've seen you transform to who you are today. Can you tell us a little about that journey? Actually, can you tell us a lot about that journey?
Hi, my name is Woody, and I'm gay. Living life for 30 years and not being able to say that is suffering. I remember my aunt asking me, when are you going to get married? I said, soon, at the age of 15. And then I begin to lie about myself. I begin to lie about things because I lied about my sexuality. And, you know, I always thought that I would one day become straight, running away from, well, my parents are diplomats, so every time we move to a different country, I tell myself, I'm going to be straight in this country. And it never happened. You know, I moved back from New York. I went out. My first boyfriend was African American, and he was long. Oh no, tall. He was tall. And coming back to Asia, I never thought I would have an Asian boyfriend because I thought Thai guys are very scrawny. They're not buff. And then within half a year, I fell in love with Thai men like Chompoo did. I kind of like your husband in a way because he's just cute. You know, Thai guys are just, they don't need to be sexy. They're just cute and clean and they smell good. So, you know, after having dated Thai guys, I feel comfortable with myself being gay. But when I went into the industry as a DJ, VJ for MTV, and creating my own talk shows, I began to realize, oh, I never invite gay or LGBT guests onto the show because I figured, what if they asked me that question if I'm gay? So for 15 years on my own show, I've always denied being gay. Or if I always tell myself, if the press asked me if I'm gay, I would say, you know, I'm not too sure yet what I would be. Up until about 5 years.
How old were you?
I was in my early 30s already.
Okay.
And I mean, the whole business knows that I'm gay, but I've just never said to people that I am gay. So one day I came out on my live program. I just couldn't take it anymore. I just said, hi. There were photos of me and my husband getting married that was leaked out on the internet. And yes, we're going out. And yes, I am gay. And the only reason I did that was because I realized that, you know, people out there need role models. I grew up, I didn't have one. I only had Ellen DeGeneres, and she's from the US of A. And in Thailand, there's just like transsexuals, or you know, people who does cross-dressing, and I don't want to do that. So after coming out on my own show, one thing that I realized that I've never felt before was the love from fans, from friends. I received more hugs because I used to walk into malls and people would just stare at me like, oh, this is one of those hosts where you ask harsh questions. But now they look at me and they just say, can I have a hug? Which is so different than before. So what I learned from that is you just got to be true to yourself, and once you open up, it will hurt. I mean, people will bash you, people will say bad things about you on the internet. But at the end of the day, you know that you come out because you want to be free, you want to be happy, and hopefully, you know, in the next year or two, hopefully, you know, we will get to see that law where men or women of the same sex will be able to get married here in Thailand. And I know that will happen within a year or two, and we're going to make it happen. So for me, it was that suffering, Pam. I look so confident, but I go home crying every day, don't understanding why I am not myself. I can't even go to Chompoo and say, hey, sister. I don't dare to do that. I'd be like, hey, Chom, what's up? you know? And I just feel so inauthentic, but now we can be ourselves and be proud of who, I am so proud of who I am right now. Before I was not.
You were at the top of your game with your talk show, Woody Talk.
Yeah.
Why did that end? Like, why did you give that up?
I wasn't happy with myself. The one thing I did before I go on air is I know that I would go on my show and what term would I use? I would slice up my guest into half, slice her up, and take out his or her heart. That was my objective.
Yeah, you did it with my cousin.
I did. Sorry, and I didn't know that people come on the show because it was the highest rated, but then they went off the show, getting bashed by the public because there wasn't social media back then. So if I were to invite, let's say, Chompoo onto the show, if I asked her, so are you telling me the truth? And if she said yes, she is, people would still believe that she might be lying. So I didn't know that my show created so much misunderstandings, and I felt bad, and I felt like I need to have a cause. So I changed my concept. I was very Oprah-like 5 years ago. I became so Oprah, you know, spiritual. And then you know what happened to the ratings? The ratings went down. It plummeted. And my staffs quit the show. They said, this is not the real Woody. You know, Woody's not nice. Woody needs to be mean. He needs to be straightforward. And they all quit on me. But I knew deep in my heart, this is what you have to do. You got to be responsible with the people you talk to. You're talking to 70 million people. So no more of that, you know, trashy headliner stories anymore. We got to talk about good things in life. So after doing that show, I quit the show. For the past 3-4 years, I just did online, created music festivals, created fitness festivals, and people asked me, am I going to come back to TV again? At first, I said no. But last year, I woke up and said to myself, I'm going to come back on TV again. I'm going to do a great and hopeful show on national television. And somebody asked me, what kind of format would that be? And I said, you know, I love Ellen, right? I grew up with Ellen. I want to do like the Ellen format. So are you going to copy Ellen? I said, you know what? That's a good question. Why don't we just email her and ask her if I can get the rights to her show? So the NBC people said, no, it ain't going to happen. No, she doesn't sell her format. So I said, you know what? If you say it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. Let's just be positive here. So 2 months ago, we contacted the Ellen people. You know, we've been talking to her for the past 2 months. So I'm going to be confirming this in front of Dragonfly. Starting next April, I will be the first Ellen outside of Asia for the Woody Show. I just told Chompoo about this. She will be my first guest. And you know, it's a good show. You're giving out cars and phones, and you're jumping around. I can dance with my audience. I can just do whatever I want to do. And you can be authentically you and give Ellen a cut. So why not?
I'm so happy to hear that, because
Yes.
obviously you are so good at this.
Yes. So I would like to introduce you to my first guest, Chompoo Araya, Hargate.
Here we go. Chompoo, you never come on stage. from
No,
what I
never.
hear.
And I think I made the wrong choice to be the last one now.
You're not the last. You're not the last. We're going to wrap up. Thank you for coming on stage. Why did you agree, first of all?
Well, actually, I did call P. Woody. and he was like, you know, you should join. And probably, well, before I felt like I have nothing to say, and I don't really think that my life is that interesting. And
As one of the biggest stars in China, you feel that?
and I'm not a speaker, and I never considered myself as a supervisor of anything, so I always refused. But probably it's time to get out of my comfort zone and, you know, share things.
Can you share with us then? I spoke to you briefly, and I remember you telling me you knew from young that you would have a voice? And you do have a voice right now.
So when I was younger, I used to watch this show, Atoi Tai Poba, what's that show?
It's called
That he gives you...
ฝันที่เป็นจริง when dreams come
No,
true.
no, not that one. It's the one that he gives you the picture at the end.
It's called Today Show.
But before, yeah.
Twilight Show.
Yeah, Twilight
Twilight
show,
Show.
exactly. So I was watching all these stars, interviewed by Atoy. And when I was little, I go out with my mom to the market and stuff like that. And people used to say, you should become like a pageant, or you should be a star, like, and then, they just give examples of names and stuff like that. But I never thought of fame. I never thought of, being in the limelight or anything. But when I watched that show, I've got this feeling that my voice is just got to be heard. And someone just have to know what I'm thinking. And that is just some instinct. But I've never thought of fame as what it is today.
I feel you're so authentic and true to yourself. Like, how do you keep that up with everyone trying to push you to be something else, I'm sure, in the entertainment industry? I mean, Perry said it herself. Pearypie, you're pushed around all the time to be what other people expect you to be. But and yet, I feel you've really remained true to yourself. As material girl or whatever it is that you are. Like, how do you do that?
Basically, I don't know how I do that.
That is an authentic answer on its own.
It's just me, and I don't know how my mom raised me, but probably it's because she never had any expectation for me. They never tell me what to be or what to do, and they don't care how I do in school. And I never เรียนพิเศษ or they never really push me or encourage me to do anything. I just go with the flow, and I guess that's how I become who I am.
Can you tell us a little bit about being an Adidas ambassador and what happened for your turn into fitness? It seems like everyone's turning to fitness. Woody's turning to fitness. I'm going to turn to fitness after. But can you tell us a little about that?
Yes, so for the health and fitness issue, I think there are two things. First, about the health issue. So what really hit me was like 6-7 years ago, we found out that my dad has cancer. So I guess that when this happens to you, I think we all have the same reaction. We start asking why, and there's like millions of people in the world, but why is this happening to my daddy? And we all know the answer. It's just everywhere. It's in the food that we eat, it's in the water, it's in the air, it's in every single thing that we consume. So that's when I started to, be more conscious about what I put in my body. But for fitness, an honest answer would be that I did try every single way, but not exercising, to maintain or to keep the body that I desire. And I used to be the kid that I really hated PE. I pretend to faint so that I don't have to sweat or I don't have to run, across the football fields and something like that. So, after trying every single way, you realize that there is only one way. So you just gotta move your ass, So I started slowly. At first, I started with yoga and then slowly into fitness. And, they say once you see the result, you become addicted. But what I learned more about fitness is that fitness or sport, any kind of sport, is not like a short-term project or just a campaign that you try to achieve until you reach your desired number on the scale, or when you're like 3 sizes small or something. But it's a lifestyle, and it's like a commitment to yourself that you want to be better and better every day, not just because you want to be beautiful, but it's like you want to feel strong and you want to feel fit. And I think my followers, they see that. I mean, honestly speaking, when I do my stuff on Instagram, I don't even know that if I'm doing it right. You know what I mean? I don't consider myself as a fitness guru. I don't know if my squat is right. Did I, tilt enough, or if my alignment is right or what? But I'm freaking proud of myself. I mean, I lift like a man. So, so I think they see that. I mean, I think they can see that I'm proud of what I'm doing, and I feel the power that I have in myself. And I guess that's probably what inspires other people. So, you can inspire it. I think it can be inspiring without being like a guru or anything. I'm just a normal person who wants the best version of myself.
So can we all agree that transformation doesn't just happen, it continues to happen every day? And so I'd like to know what's next for each and every one of you. Would you like to start, Katrina?
So what's next for me? Well, Wonderfruit is in December, and I hope to see you all there. And aside from that, I have been developing my VC to take a more impact approach, especially like from my country. I try to identify a lot of entrepreneurs that are creating solutions for people that are suffering from the problem. So to me, it's important to invest particularly in education, because when you invest in education and when you invest in the youth, you empower the next generation of leaders who will bring the country to a better and brighter place.
Amazing. Perry?
Hi. So for me, I think it's, to be honest, it's for the goal of life. It's not at the end of the road, but it's all about the process.
Journey.
And it's about the journey of it. And to be able to find the real happiness, I guess, is to reconnect back to yourself and the people around you, the community you grow up with, or even the culture. And as for me, for the next few years, I would like to do a lot of things to do with like the Thai textiles and environment. And I've been thinking of creating this thing called like Pearypie Smiley Camp, where we go from like north to south and sort of like experience our culture, go back to the root, eat our food, and understand everything about who we are and the everything that surrounding us in terms of like environmental problems as well.
Did you design what you were wearing? I love it.
May I stand?
Yes,
I would like
please.
to show off our unique Thai textile. So this is called Mat Mi silk. Thank you. So after like being to different sort of like communities and villages around Thailand, I learned so much that Thai silk can be as cool as the fast fashion trend that we have right now. And actually, to have a piece of fabric, it's like a journey from the one house to another house, and it's all about like connecting and working together as a team. And they are like pretty like flowy. When I wear it, I don't feel hot at all, and it's just really, really cool, and it's really nice. Like, when you have that piece of garment, it's like you design it and you wear it, and you feel so proud of who you are.
I'm going to backtrack a bit, though. When you see those you go to the villages and visit them, they must be so happy that you're showing an interest in what they're doing.
I guess they are, but I'm more happy.
That's fine, too.
Yeah.
Chom.
What's next for me? I would say that in the past 1 or 2 years, I've just said to P. Woody that I'm quite very happy with myself now. I love my life now. It's really balanced. But probably I would have to get out of my comfort zone pretty soon and, find a new balance. And yes, I have something quite big for me coming up next year, which I will reveal later big for me. I don't know if it's big for you.
Amazing. Thank you. Woody.
My ultimate dream in life has always been to interview David Beckham. And it has already passed 2 years ago. And it was probably one of the worst interviews in my life because I was just sitting there looking at him like starstruck. How can you not? I've always fantasized about him since I was 12. So, yeah, it was the worst interview in my life, but done. What's next, other than the Woody Allen Project for 2020, is I'm creating this initiative called Live Proud. After having traveled Thailand and the world, talking to youths and kids, especially the LGBT plus groups, they feel as if they're not good enough or worth enough to be someone in the world. They feel because of who they are or their religion, they can't be beyond who they are. So what I'm planning to do for 2020 is to gather great people all over the world and travel with me in order to go to the north, to the south, to the east, and hopefully our initiative, Live Proud, would be able to inspire, kids from all over Thailand and Southeast Asia to make sure that before they die, they gotta live proud and be proud of who they are. That's the next thing that I'm looking forward to in 2020. And last but not least, I told myself, 2020, I am going to do this every day. I asked His Holiness the Dalai Lama when I interviewed him, I asked him, can you tell me the secret to happiness? Give me one secret. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he said, I'm going to tell you, it's top secret. You cannot tell anyone. I practiced for 83 years. If you want to be happy every day, this is what you have to do. You have to laugh every day. You know why? Humans are meant to laugh every day. But you think crazy things, you look at the phone and then you scroll phone or you compare your life with other people, you depress, you stress. But you have to laugh every day. So if you break your glass, glass broken. If your company did not IPO, it's okay. If you lose $1 million, it's okay. So next year, 2020, I'm gonna wake up, look in the mirror, I'm gonna be like, fuck life. I'm gonna laugh every day. Laugh every day, guys. Laugh every day.
And on that note, shall we end with a laugh and a dance?
Yes.
Let's do it, guys.
Guys, get up. All right, and let's have some theme music. It's about 12:22. You guys are yawning. I hear you guys are yawning. So let's end off with the tune from our festival, shall we, Pam? Is there a theme music? So it's going to be free
Emmy,
flow.
can we get it on?
All right, let's just
Do
do our
it.
best moves, okay?
And then we can eat.
For 30 seconds. All right, here we go. Let's play the music. Louder. All right. Any moves? You guys ain't dancing. I don't see any moves going on down there. All right, here we go.
Start the fire. Time for me to wake up. Not afraid to do whatever I want. Make a move. I know
I don't see you guys dancing enough.
It's up to me. Take first step, keep moving. Hey, it's me. I know what I need. Yeah, now I'm ready.
Back row, I know you want to move. Let's do it. Let's do it. 15 seconds left.
Sometimes I feel like I was holding back, but no more. I am free. I'll spread my wings, fly so high, I'll be touching the sky. I get like a dragonfly. Do
so much to every single
We
one of
finally
you on the panel.
danced, fam. We finally danced.
I always dance. What are you talking about? Just don't see me. All right, let's do this.